You're now tuned in to the Lady Charmaine live show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine, and I have another great interview for you today. So I want to know, what do you get when you mix my next guest with music and properties? Well, you get hit records and hit properties, and I tell you who it is coming up right after this. My guest today is one-fourth of the best-selling boy group of all time, Boys to Men. And he is here today to talk about his brand new show airing on the DIY network, Hit Properties with Nathan Morris. Help me welcome to the Lady Charmaine live show, Mr. Nathan Morris. Welcome to the show, Nathan.
How are you? How are you?
I am doing good. Boy, you are a flashback from 27 years ago. Offline, I was talking to Nate to remind him that we actually met 27 years ago at the Black Radio exclusive right there in New Orleans. We were kind of like the youngest people there. And a dear friend of his ended up introducing me to them. And that's how we ended up becoming friends. And that was before Motown Philly even hit the airwaves. So that's how long it's been. So it's good to have you on the show, Nathan.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, Nathan, I was actually reading your bio, and I thought it was interesting that you were actually bullied in middle school, that you were considered to be, I guess, short or smaller in stature than the other students. How did you handle that growing up, especially with bullying going on today?
Yeah, I was a short guy back then in school. You know, they moved you around the school. They had you walk in lines, and I was the line leader. So I got picked on by the taller guys in the back of the line. Mm-hmm. But that was a momentary thing that I learned to handle very well. So I mean, it's those things in life that make you better.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good way to look at it, to make you better, because a lot of young children need to hear that today, because you have a lot of kids taking their own lives because of bullying, and they need to hear that last part. It's things in life that can make you better. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's temporary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, temporary. But I was going to ask you this question. Okay, so you were one of the best-selling groups of all time, Boys to Men, hit after hit after hit, and now you are doing Hit Properties. Tell us about the show.
It's a home flipping show, home flipping on a different magnitude. Normally larger homes. This one that we're working on right now, what we just finished up, was over 8,200 square feet.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's on a golf course in Orlando. And we literally went in and ripped out almost every room, every bathroom, kitchen, family. Everything was redone, from the every roof tile to every stone paver, the pool, the whole nine was done. And it was a project that we wanted to rehab because we saw potential in this house that was sitting for quite a while on this golf course, and we went in there and turned that thing around.
So what made you want to get into properties, especially flipping and doing a lot of your own work? Where did that love come from?
Well, I've invested in real estate for a while with a couple friends of mine, and I was always into doing that. And on my free time, I would do the construction design thing. Mm-hmm. This was just an opportunity to bring them both together, and we just decided to film them and see how it would go.
Okay, so when you decided to film it, so is that how the television show came about? They was like, we just love this guy. We got to give him a show. How did that come about?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, we just decided to try it, pull out the cameras, and say, okay, well, we'll just film and see how it goes, and happen to go in a great direction so far. So I mean, we're really happy with it. It's been fun. I'm not really a TV person. I'm more of a private individual, which is probably why you haven't really seen a lot about myself on the internet, other than my guys. I mean, they like that thing, but I'm from that Khalil old school where he always taught me to keep my private life private and my personal life personal. There's some things in your life that you have to own that belongs 100% to you, and you don't have to share with everyone.
Absolutely. Now, it's funny because I was going to say there's something that you just mentioned, and I want to share this with everybody. That Nate has been a businessman since I met you when we were 19 years old, and dealing with you always had a level head. And you are the same person now as you were back then. And I remember when you guys had just bought those jackets from the Gap, the green ones that you guys wore in Motown, Philly. And I never forget. I made a comment to
Right.
you, and I had said, "Wow, you guys get a bunch of free stuff," and you said no. You corrected me, and you literally set me down, and you said no. You said we have to pay for all of this. Everything you see from the music videos, all that comes out of our pocket. And you told me we will not see any money until like 2 years afterwards, and until we start touring. So don't ever think that everything you see is coming for free. And I was like, wow, that was like my first big lesson because you stopped it right there. No, this is not free. And so you told me all the things that Michael
Uh,
Bivins taught you dealing with business.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of even today, man, a lot of people see things on the internet and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, and they watch these videos, and they see people driving around in these cars and doing all this cool stuff, man. And one of the craziest things about the world today is it's very easy to misconceive people about who you are and what you do,
Right.
because we've got the generation that pretty much believes every single thing that they see.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do the research, they don't go to try to find out the truth. So it's important to let people know how things really are, and how they stand and what they will be. More than I'm just opposed to the facade idea. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. And especially with you not having properties in Florida, how do you handle hurricanes or a potential hurricane that can come and cause damage to your property while you're building?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can say you can handle them per se. You just try to prepare for them.
Mm-hmm.
Florida has to build to a certain code. So 9 times out of 10, most of the houses here are prepared physically for hurricanes. It's just, window damage you could get, or roof damage or things of that nature. But the structure themselves are 9 times out of 10 built to code, to where, most structures will last if they're built to code.
Okay. And my last question, will there be a Boys to Men biopic on BET? Because it looked like in the New Edition story, they were actually setting it up, when the Michael Bivins character was getting on the bus and then Boys to Men came. Do you think there may be a biopic coming soon?
We've talked about it, and it's interesting. We were in the process of starting to get into one, but backed off on the sheer fact that one thing about Boys to Men is we've always tried our best to be a part of setting trends and not following them.
Mm-hmm.
And between New Edition and Bobby Brown and all these other people with biopics, it just feels like to most people it seems like the natural progression, but to us it doesn't. It's more like our story's going to be what it's going to be. We've been blessed with a pretty good one. Whether we share it today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now, it's going to be what it's going to be. So there's really no rush to jump out into the marketplace to do that just because everyone else is doing it. And it's not something I think is ever going to be a fad or play out. I mean, when that story is ready to be told, we'll tell it.
Absolutely. Well, I still think you guys have a great story, and I definitely look forward to hearing it. And I want to remind the audience to make sure that you tune in Saturday nights to the DIY Network at 10:30 Eastern and Pacific time for Hit Properties with Nathan Morris. And also, it's going to be airing next month on the HGTV channel at 10:30. Hit Properties with Nathan at the same time, 10 p.m. So make sure that's going to be every Friday beginning November the 2nd. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. And again, Nathan, thank you so much for coming on the show. And it was so good talking to you after so many years.
No problem. I appreciate it. And again, like I said, we check out the show. We have a whole lot of fun. You can check us out on our Instagram pages too as well. I think mine is Nathan Morris, PhD. Forgive me if I forget it because I don't do it that much. But if not, you can just always go to the Boys to Men page.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nathan, for coming on the show. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. And again, don't forget to tune in this Saturday to Hit Properties with Nathan Morris, airing on the DIY Network at 10:30 at Eastern Pacific time. And then if you missed that, don't forget November the 2nd on the HGTV channel at 10 p.m. Again, it's Hit Properties with Nathan Morris. And again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Lady Charmaine live show. Don't forget to tune in tonight for Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. See you tonight. Bye-bye.